My name is Scott Langto, and I'm the executive producer on Turning Point Fall of Liberty. And in that, I take care of a lot of things in terms of overseeing the larger scale of the production, casting actors, hiring the composer, getting the orchestration set up. We chose to work with Michael Giacchino for a number of reasons. Michael is someone I've worked with for years to begin with, but he's also just a fantastic composer.
You know, I got involved with Fall of Liberty through mainly the executive producer, Scott Langto, and I've been working with him for over 10 years.
Our history together has been very successful. We've won 2 AIS awards for scores we've worked on together in the past. So Michael really understands video games. He understands what games need. He understands the emotional impact that can be garnered from great music in video games.
Surprisingly enough, video games, television, movies, they're all very similar in how I approach scoring them. They're all about finding the emotional center, the story.
So one of the things we talked about for Turning Point Fall of Liberty was that we really wanted it to feel like America was under attack. And it's something Americans really have no connection with. We don't know what it's like to be occupied. And one of the things we talked about was wanting to do a more primal score that was less heroic and that was more about a feeling of chaos and energy and, you know, what would you do in a situation that was just completely outside of your realm of expectation.
In a normal kind of World War II game, you would think that trumpets are a big factor in the score, and because trumpets kind of represent America and Americana and freedom and all of these things, or at least they've come to represent that. So I really wanted to do this score completely without trumpets to sort of represent the fact that that has all been stripped away. And in this score, again, instead of kind of being flowing and dramatic all the time, I wanted it to be much more of an aggressive attack in the same way that the Americans who were living under the rule of the Nazis in America would have to kind of, you know, push this really aggressive campaign to get them out. I wanted the music to feel like that.
In terms of how we went about in capturing that kind of chaotic feel in the score, one of the things we would do to approach that was a lot of sparseness in the score. There's a lot of isolated sounds. There are gaps in the phrasing of the music. There are gaps in sort of the emotional connection to music, and there's a staccato sense to a lot of the music to propel the player and to kind of keep that intensity of sort of action and surprise going. So outside of the main theme, which is kind of a somber kind of look at the dark time that these people are living through, outside of that, it's really about just being aggressive and smart and fast and quick and moving. Again, and stylistically, it took a lot of my inspiration out of some of the scores of the 60s, which I loved as a kid. Michael is just a fantastic composer who happens to work in films currently, but is also willing to work on games, and so he was a fantastic choice for us.
Is that good, Michael?
Beautiful.